Hey guys, and welcome back to Mad About Skin. In today's video, I want to share with you an advanced anti-aging evening skincare routine incorporating high-strength retinoids. Whether you opt for tretinoin, tazarotene, adapolene, or a high-potency retinal, these products are going to give you the very best anti-aging outcomes. But unfortunately, they can be the trickiest to slot into a skincare routine. But don't worry, I've got you covered. Over the past 5 years of my own high-strength retinoid journey, I've learned some hints, tips, and hacks how to successfully layer to minimize irritation and maximize outcomes. And I'm going to show you it all in today's video, slapping these products on my own face. So sit back, relax, let's talk an advanced evening skincare routine. Now, in today's video, I am full of cold. That seasonal flu thing that's going around has hit me hard. So I thought, let's just get into a really comfy knit, throw myself through the shower so I feel vaguely human again, and then sit down and do like a chatty and free-flowing full skincare routine. I would love to know, though, what your thoughts are when it comes to these full routine videos. If it's something that you enjoy and find useful on the channel, make sure to let me know by reaching down into the comments and leaving the heart emoji, and share any particular routines that you like to see on the channel. If you're somebody that isn't particularly bothered or excited by full skincare routine videos, again, let me know by leaving the cross emoji, because I really do want to take your feedback so I know whether to incorporate more or less into the future filming schedule. Now, I've got a lot of products to get through in today's video and to get on my skin, so I think it's time we just cut that waffle and we delve straight on in. So whichever high-potency retinoid you go for, this routine will work. I think I've titled this video How to Use Tretinoin because that's often the most frequently reached for the high-strength options. But there's lots out there, and like I say, know that whatever option, whatever retinoid you're going for, this routine will work. So just slot the one that you're using into it. Also, as we go through today's video, I'm going to try and give different alternatives for each of the steps and products, so there's something here for every budget and every skin type. Any product that I've mentioned is linked down in the description box below, so if you want to check the price point, make a purchase, or just read some reviews and ingredients, those links are there for your convenience. All I ask for in return is if you happen to be enjoying this video at any point, whilst you're down there, to also give the video a big thumbs up and a like, because it really does support me, and it might just make me feel that little bit better. You never know, it's worth a chance. Now, we're going to start where any good skincare routine starts, which is with an effective cleanse. And when I started back on my own high-strength retinoid, which in my case is tazarotene, I spoke to my dermatologist and said, how do I make this work? I've had years and years of fails on again, off again with tretinoin. How do I make tazarotene, which is similar, it's a newer generation retinoid, work for me? And she said, preparation is key. Just think of it as like painting a wall. Your results are going to be determined by the prep work that you put in to start, not just how you slap the paint on the wall. And I was like, okay, no, I'm not a painter myself, but you know what, you get the idea. And so prep work is key. And I'm going to share with you the first few steps of this routine are all about preparation, but I think they're actually the most important. So starting off with fresh, clean skin with a good cleanse. Now, today in the shower, I actually went in with this. This is the Pixi EOD Cleansing Oil. I actually love this. I picked this up at the drugstore because I'm going through a bit of a Pixi resurgence. I used to love this brand, completely fell off my radar, and I've been trying some of their new launches. I like this. This is a cost-effective cleansing oil. It works really nicely on the skin. It feels luxurious without that luxury price tag, which I'm all about. And yeah, it's great. You can use whatever cleanser you want. It doesn't matter with the one that works for you, but I particularly like this. What I would say though is a couple of times a week, make sure that you remove your cleanser with a nice cleansing cloth. The reason I say this is when you're on a high-strength retinoid, be it tretinoin, tazarotene, retinal, whatever, it does lead to an increase in cellular turnover, so we tend to have a lot of extra dead skin building up. We might get some flaking, and the temptation is to scrub. That doesn't work. That creates irritation and sensitivity. What you need is a really nice, gentle but effective cleansing cloth that you can remove, and that will just give a very gentle manual exfoliation, which will just help take some of that dead skin off. It'll make your tretinoin journey so much easier. Now, a lot of these cloths cost like £20. I didn't want that, so I actually created my own, which is this. This is Mad About Skin cleansing cloth. It's actually woven. I don't know if that's picking up. It's woven to give the gentlest manual exfoliation and a really luxury feel. It's also huge. It's like the biggest cleansing cloth I've found, because I like to really go in there with it, and you can't do it with those tiny ones you get. I'm actually happy to give this away completely free with any order. So when you next place your order, if you want one of these to try, I'll happily give you it for free, no problem at all. Just send your order number in using the contact us section of the website and say, can I have a cleansing cloth? And I will throw one in for you free of charge. They will be available on the website in the next month, but if you don't want to wait, if you want to give this a go with your next order, like I say, just throw in your order number to the contact us section of the website and I'll put that in. But definitely, whichever one you go for, just a couple of times a week, remove your cleanser with a nice cleansing cloth, and that'll definitely make the skin look less scaly, dry, and just give an overall boost to radiance. So that's cleansing done. I'm then going to go into protection mode. When you use a high potency retinoid, say tretinoin, whatever, you don't want to get it on certain areas. The lips, these are very prone to dryness, particularly if you've got a cold like I have. Look, I've got this zit coming here, that's cold related. And you don't want to get it on the sides of the nose either. These are areas which are just prone to irritation, best avoiding. So we're going to do a little prep work now. So first off, I'm going to go on the lips with this. This is The Ordinary PHA 5% Exfoliating Lip Serum. This is great. If you haven't seen it, I actually did a separate video on this, which I launched. I don't think many people actually saw that video because it kind of slipped under the radar. If you haven't seen it, I'll link it up there. Check it out. But yeah, this is really nice. I like to apply a couple of drops on the back of my hand. If you can see that, it's a slightly thicker serum, which means it's easy to apply. And then I'll put this on the lips. Now, you could actually use this all over the face as a gentle exfoliator. You only need one drop on the back of the hands, and then you can put it on the lips. This is great. First of all, it tastes fairly neutral. Anything I put on the lips needs to be taste free. I don't want to be tasting whatever all day long. This is pretty taste neutral. It feels great, and that will just do a gentle exfoliation on the lips. But then protection mode, I'm going to go in with a balm. Now I would recommend you can use a lip balm for this, you can use a rescue balm, a protection balm, whatever you can reach for. But to protect these areas, I'm actually going in with this. This is the new Mad About Skin Rescue Balm. If you remember the old lip balm that we had in the old packaging, in the old collection, it's the same formula in a larger tub, because people were saying to me that they're using it all over the face. Not just on the lips, they were using it to slug, they were using it on dry elbows. Can we have a bigger tub? So yes, back by popular demand, this is the Mad About Skin Rescue Balm, which actually goes on sale today. If you want to pick it up, you can. Just don't forget to email in your order number to get one of those free washcloths if you would like one. You can use any balm, you can use any lip balm for this. Just make sure that you go in with a nice hydrating and a thick and occlusive one. This provides a barrier. My favourite, this isn't the packaging, by the way. I'm using up the lab sample because I hate waste. Anyone that knows me, I hate waste. This with The Ordinary exfoliating lip serum, absolute perfection. So going with that, I'm going to put some at the corners of the eyes, because this is another area where I do get irritation and I don't want my tretinoin or tazarotene to touch, and just in the corners of the nose. You can actually use this anywhere you get sensitivity, and it just provides a barrier. Hydrates, but it provides a barrier, so if you do get the tretinoin, tazarotene, whatever, on top of it, it won't cause any problems at all. Now, in the excitement of actually getting down to filming, I should have said, I actually used this on the eye. This is the Trinity London Take Back Time Eye Cream. I like to use an eye cream on an evening because it's just super easy. My under eyes are usually a little bit more sensitive than the rest of my skin. You can absolutely use the rest of the skincare routine under your eye if you want, but if you want a separate eye cream, this is actually a really great option. I also love the Mary and May eye cream, which I'll leave an image of here. I love the Torridon Salmazing eye cream. Again, I'm going to leave it here. They're all linked below. They're great anti-aging eye creams that work great with high-strength retinoids like tretinoin. You could use any one of them. I went in with the Trini one because I think this is my favourite. I've almost reached pan on this. I love it that much. But yeah, an eye cream, and then we're ready to get some actual product on our skin. So I'm going to start with a calming and soothing serum. This is really important when you're using high potency actives, because you want to minimize the risk of any, stress to the skin, any sensitivity, any inflammation. One of my absolute favorites is this. This is the Geek and Gorgeous Stress Less. super affordable, packed full of really nice hydrating, calming and soothing ingredients such as madecassoside, azelaic acid, all the things that you would expect to really help dial back sensitivity and irritation. It's almost like a shield for the skin, which is why I like to use it early on in the routine. A little goes a long way with this particular one, so I'll put on like 2, maybe 3 drops, and that generally will cover everything I need. So let's get that on the skin. Now, because I am quite clumsy with my application, you'll see a lot of like content creators online going like this. That really winds me up. I don't know, does that bug you? Maybe it's just me. I find that really irritating when they just do this. Who actually applies their skincare like that? I like to just slap it on, get things moving, and I actually think that probably works better because it gets that lymphatic drainage, the blood flow going. I like to get it on, which is why, because I've protected the lips, the eyes, and the corners of the nose, I can be a bit more flamboyant with my applications and it not kind of matter. That's my theory. 3 drops of that Stress Less really does hydrate. As you can see, the skin's nice and plump, but it acts as like a shield to protect against any irritation. And then I'm going to go on with my azelaic acid. Now, if there is only one thing you take away from this video, it is that you absolutely have to use azelaic acid alongside high-strength retinoids. Tretinoin, tazarotene, retinal, whatever you're using, please make sure you have an azelaic acid in the same routine. That's because azelaic acid calms, soothes, and prevents irritation. In fact, I spoke all about this in my Tretinoin video, which has kind of gone semi-viral. So if you haven't seen that, I'll leave a link to it up there. That's like the do's and the don'ts. Definitely azelaic acid featured heavily in that video. So make sure to check it out because trust me, I've tried without azelaic acid and you get a lot more side effects. So today I'm going to use this. This is the Azelaic and Kojic Advanced Clarifying Serum by Allies of Skin. I love this because it's got some acne fighting benefits too. So if you're very acne prone like I am, particularly when I've got a cold, this works wonders. I'll just put a couple of drops. It's quite a nice milky emulsion. This is beautiful. Like I say, if you've got advanced hyperpigmentation, acne scarring, or anything like that, this works so well. You get a light tingling from it because after all, it's an azelaic acid. You'll get a light tingling, but nothing too extreme, and it's absolutely fine to use alongside retinoids. So get a little bit in your life. If you want a cheaper option, this is the Geek and Gorgeous A-Pad. This is phenomenal. Those on a budget, this is amazing. I've got a 20% discount code for this one, which brings the price down a little. But if you actually absolutely want to do azelaic acid on a budget, you cannot go wrong with this. The Geek and Gorgeous A-Pad has never steered me wrong, and because it's a derivative of azelaic acid, it's a little bit more gentle too. So if you're new, maybe you're scared about the acid in the name and want to go for something gentle, A-Pad. So good. Again, I'll link it below. So we've protected, we've calmed and soothed, we've applied our azelaic acid. That tingling should go after about 20 seconds, 30 seconds. It's fine. That's just azelaic acid getting into the skin to work. And now we're going to talk peptides. I know, half of you out there are going, peptides with retinoids, you can, and I feel like a broken record because I say this all the time and it's one of the most frequently asked questions. You can absolutely use peptides, including copper peptides, alongside high-strength retinoids, as long as they're encapsulated. So just make sure you get an encapsulated peptide and you don't have to worry about it. Slap it on the skin and don't stress it. If you use an encapsulated version, you do then have to think more about layering and pairing and interactions. So just go for an encapsulated version, take the stress out of it. Today I'm going to go in with mine. This is the Mad About Skin Copper Peptide Serum. However, Naturium do an advanced one that's really good as well. I'll leave an image of the Naturium one, also encapsulated. Let's just stop stressing peptides and tretinoin together. It doesn't have to be worrying. You can just use encapsulation, take the stress out of it. So like I say, I'm going in with mine today, but that Naturium one, also phenomenal. I can't believe how quickly this one's flown off the shelves. I think we only got it back in stock maybe 2 months ago, and we're down to our last 200 units. Baffling. Don't worry, more is being produced as we speak, so do not panic. I might actually top tip, I like to use like 3-4 drops of this. You can be quite lavish with your peptides, especially if they're cost effective like that one. Top tip as well is put this on the scalp. Great for hair loss. Both men and women can benefit from copper peptides on the scalp. For women, it helps with hair density. With men, it helps with hair loss and reducing that loss rate. Definitely, if you're using your copper peptides on your skin, throw a little on your scalp too. Trust me, it genuinely works. I've been doing that for the past 2 years and I've noticed such a difference. If you don't believe me, dig out one of my videos from like 2 years ago, compare and contrast to now. Copper peptides really work. So put these on the skin. As I say, you can be lavish with your peptides. There's not like a maximum amount you can use, so don't worry. I like to use quite a lot because I get a lot of hydration. The Mad About Skin one and the Naturium one actually both contain Azelaic, which is great for reducing fine lines and wrinkles. Those copper peptides are encapsulated, and Matrixyl, which is great for long-term collagen production. It's just fantastic, and look at that. You just get this really nice like boost to glow and luminosity, and trust me, you'll wake up with a really good skin day if you use a nice peptide serum. And just encapsulation, then you don't need to stress it. Right, we then going to come on to the star of the show, the retinoid. So I've got some options here. I spoke to my dermatologist and we decided to go down the route of tazarotene, which for me is just, I find that you get the best results with the minimum side effects when it comes to advanced. But Tretinoin is a firm favourite of so many of you guys out there. Adapolene, great if you've got acne. High strength retinal, phenomenal over the counter. Geek and Gorgeous, The Ordinary, both my favourite over the counter retinals. I'll link them down below. Go for whichever one you want. I'm going to go for tazarotene for today, but use whichever one you want. Now, my top tip is for applying the right amount. You see a little pinky finger, all right? Pea-sized amount, useless because nobody has peas in their bathroom, so you don't really have a size gauge. Half of your little finger amount will be all that you need to apply in order to get maximum results, minimum irritation. Look at that. There you go. That is the right amount. Now, if you don't believe me, because you put that peptide on, you've got some slip on the skin already. You can dab this around, and I find this the best way, and then just work it in. You can go to town because you put that balm on, so we've already protected the delicate areas, so you don't need to stress it. Like I say, I just apply it anywhere. And you've protected the areas that need to be protected. Makes it super easy. That is so stress-free. Do not stress your retinoid application. That's it. There you go. Done. 5 seconds. Done. And it works like that. Hopefully that's helped. I don't know. I see some content creators doing the little dabbing and slap it on the skin. As long as you do your prep work fine, you can just slap it on the skin, which is, after all, what our routine should be. Because if you're anything like me, I'm always desperate to get to bed. Now, let me know at this point, what is your go-to retinoid? Are you team, leave it in the comments, team, and then your retinoid. Are you team Tretinoin, team tazarotene, team retinal? What are you? Let me know in the comments because I would genuinely love to know which one works for you. And then we're going to come on to moisturizers. Now, a little hack that I would share with you is something called castor oil and a moisturizer. That's like a great little combo to use with your high-strength retinoids. Castor oil has some anti-inflammatory properties. It's fantastic at hydrating. It's too thick to use on its own. I covered castor oil in more detail in a video, which I'll link up there. It's too thick to use on its own, so mix a couple of drops in with your moisturiser. One of my favourite moisturisers is this. This is the Remedy for Moisturising. They do an intense version and a lighter version. I actually find the light version is intense enough for my skin. If you've got very dry skin, you might want to go for the intense, which is absolutely fine. Anyway, this is what I'm going to go in with, and I'll put a couple of drops of my favourite castor oil into that too. I'm going to do this off camera because I like to be precise. I don't want to get it anywhere where I'm going to break out. I tend to be a little bit more precise with that. I don't want to get it into my hairline. But whatever oil you use, whatever facial oil you use, castor oil is what I would recommend, but you could use rosehip seed oil, you could use jojoba oil, whatever. Mix it in with your favourite moisturiser. I recommend this one by Remedy, but there's lots of different ones out there. Put some of the moisturiser in the palm of your hand. Put a couple of drops of your favourite facial oil, castor oil or otherwise, mix it together and then just apply it to the skin and you are done. It's as easy as that. If you really, really want like thick and make sure all that hydration is locked in, you can skip that step and just put more of the Mad About Skin Rescue Balm, which if you warm it up in your hands, let me show you. If you take a little out of here like this and you warm it up in your hands, perfectly spreadable. You could then put this on the skin and it locks in everything, seals in that hydration and will feel so, so good. Like, trust me, so good. And I will say for that, you get a more matte finish than like using an oil. And if anyone likes slugging, which is where you put like Vaseline on the skin and it's too greasy and gets all over your pillow, this could be a great option because as you can see, It's not greasy, it's not going to get all on my pillow, but it's still doing the same job. My skin feels fantastic. I'm ready to go to bed, and I think the time has come. My electric blanket, by the way, is already warming. I know. I might be 40, but I am not living without my electric blanket life. Anyway, hopefully this video has helped you. It's been a bit of a, I don't know, a bit of a chaotic slip through my evening skincare routine, but I do like to just sit down with you guys and chat in a more free-flowing way as I do these skincare routines, and I hope you found this really, really useful. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments section below. Would you add anything to this routine? Would you take anything out? What would you... Share your thoughts. Just know wherever you are in the world, guys, I'm so grateful for you being here with me today, and just, yeah, love to each and every one of you. Take care, guys. Bye.